Well, I think we're ready to begin. Thank you, everybody, for taking time and going out in the cold and leaving the moonlight to come inside. Because all that stuff is significant. The moon looks especially great. So I want to. Last couple of times we played here, we started the show with an old-fashioned song. So I'm going to try to do that tonight too. It's a song called Hungry Blues by James P. Johnson. And James P. Johnson was a great piano player who he's, I guess, he's remembered as being part of the Harlem Renaissance. He could play classical music and he wrote a lot of shows. And I think he even wrote some opera. But he also played kind of saloon piano and played for singers. And so it was wildly versatile and competent. And if you say to somebody about Thelonious Monk, who were his influences, and somebody would say James P. Johnson was somebody that, in his style of plays. So he wrote a song called the Hungry Blues, and Langston Hughes, the poet, liked the song a lot and wrote words to it. And I think the words are could be taken metaphorically and they can be taken literally, and it's kind of like a socialist anthem. So I thought I would sing it. So look out. Let's see if I can do it. All right. But we'll play a chorus first. Sure. Okay. Ready, Peter? Yep. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those hungry blues, nothing in the world to lose. People asking me to choose between dying in line and keep on trying. Yeah, I'm tired of the hungry blues. There's another thing to choose. There's a brand new world, so sweet and fine. Nobody hungry and ain't no color line. Tastes like that. Good for anybody dying. You ain't got a thing to lose but those hungry blues. Nothing in the world to lose. People asking me to choose between the dying line and keep on trying. Yeah, I'm tired of the hungry blues. There's another thing to choose. There's a brand new world, so sweet and fine. Nobody hungry and ain't no color line. It's like that, good for anybody dying. I got a thing to lose but those hungry blues. kind applause. Yeah. And now something completely different. We're going to have to come over here on this piano. Let's see.
Watch out, Billy Joel, right?
Yeah. I know there's some fans of Charlie Chaplin in the audience. And I'm one myself, and I have been for many a year, since the first time I saw him. And I wound up over a course of time writing 3 songs that had to do with Chaplin, or putting together 3 songs. And they're, I guess it's a medley. And let's see, what are they? They got the theme from. He wrote the theme from Modern Times, Smile. That's sort of a famous one. And then I wrote a tune that I thought was evocative of Chaplin. And we're going to play them all 3 of them in a row. And one recently called Modern Times that has Modern Times signatures in it, like 6/4 and 11/4, 5/4 and 11/4. So we're going to see how it goes. And we'll start with Chaplin. Okay. Set. Thank you. All right, thanks. A little. Now we're right on into the tune that's called "Modern Times." That's an original, and we're going to feature trade whole forms of this song. So featured Tim Gilmore. I forgot to introduce the band, but they've met many times, so it's right. Yeah. So Peter Concilio, thank you for coming and playing as always, and Tim Gilmore. I really appreciate your expertise and good spirit. Thank you. And, okay, 2, 1. Let's say I'll count to 5. continue the chaplain suite. We snuck a little peace, Bill Evans' peace into the chaplain song, which sets it off. Now we're going to play a song by Ornette Coleman.
Because what else do you do after playing?
Yeah, it's called Blues Connotation. And like the feature of the melodica. A seldom featured instrument. For good reason.
Yeah. Neglected.
Yeah. All right. 2, 1. was fun. That's great. This evening, each of us is going to play a solo, and I'm going first. And I wrote this song. I'm still writing it, but it's I played it for my friend Emma, who and I said, well, "What do you think of that?" or something, and she said, "It reminds me of home." So I thought that was a comment I didn't expect. And so usually people say, oh, it's very nice, or it's beautiful, or that's too loud, or something like that. Yeah. So I kept that in the title. And I'll play it for you now. And we're going to close the first set with a song called by one of my favorite composers, Earl Zinders. I always like to almost always play something by him. And this is he wrote for I'm not sure why he wrote it, but his friend Bill Evans played it many times and helped popularize it. And we're going to play that to close the first set. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You guys ringside seat. We're going to take a short break. It'll be really a short break though, because it's cold and the moon is so bright. So we're going to begin the next set with a tune by Bill Evans called Perry's Scope. And Perry was a girlfriend of Bill Evans, and this also therefore they're the title, Perry's Scope. And he played it on lots of albums. I bet everybody's heard it, but they didn't tune in on it. Yeah. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Right. Nice. Cool. Now, oh, no, we're going to play this one on electric piano. I wrote a tune a long time ago. It was inspired by watching the Grammy Awards, and I didn't really know what the Grammy Awards were, and it was, and I wound up. I thought it was incredibly stupid, and it was. So I wrote a song called "None But the Dumb." Is there a song "None But the Brave" or "Some But None But the some"? So it's just something that made me laugh, and it still does. But it has. I think it has some musical fun in it. None but the dumb. And there's a musical phrase that reminds me of those words. All right, 2. Are you guys ready? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, really, I'm looking forward to this. Peter Concilio has been working on this. I said, "Oh, would you like to play a solo?" And he had a bunch of ideas and came up with this song. Do you want to say something about it? Because I was going to just say that I was impressed that in order to play this tune, "Embraceable You," he listened to like a dozen different versions and then was able to sing them to me. So I thought he's really a way to go. It's a way to, to work on a piece and develop it. And so I'm looking forward to hearing it. I don't know how to get out of the way, though. It's like a turnstile.
Need a bigger bookstore.
Embraceable You was written in 1918 by Gershwin. It was for a show, a musical comedy, and they never did it. 2 years later, they did do it in a musical. I can't remember the name of it. And it's considered one of the most melodic jazz standards in the world. I hope I do it justice. I have been listening to a lot of different people play it because almost every jazz aficionado who has played standard jazz has played this tune. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 choruses and ad-lib with it a little bit. See if you like it. Does anybody know the tune?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We continue on the program. We're going to do the next song on the program is "Gloria's Step" by Scott LaFaro, which I think we maybe have played here before. I've played this piece. I think I learned it in my 20s. I played with this drummer who was way ahead of me, and he called this tune. I was doing like Charlie Parker songs or something, and it just I didn't know how to play it at all. So I thought, wow, this is a whole world out there I don't understand. And I still don't really get it, but I'm still working on it. And we almost didn't play it today because when I got to rehearse with Peter, he said he didn't really understand the bridge, and maybe we shouldn't do it. But we played it, and I thought it was still okay. And it's
I still don't understand.
this is like an apology before we. But it's one of the catchy things about it is, or the thing that's different about it is, it's made of 5-measure phrases. Usually, music doesn't do that, and it's so we can trade fives. We did with the drums. He'll do 5 measures and we'll do 5, and there aren't too many songs you can do that with. It usually doesn't work, but in this song, so it's worth a try. Yeah, yeah. So, and I think it's a lovely tune. Scott LaFaro he died in a car crash in his young 20s. But he changed the course of music anyway, and he recorded more than you could believe. And there isn't any bass player playing that doesn't know who he is and have been influenced by him. So we're gonna play his song. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's you can. To share a funny thing, Tim suggested we just do a couple courses when we play this, and I said, well, I always maybe we'll try to get it maybe 3, and it's always to happen. I just kept saying, if we keep doing it, I'll get it right. It's hard to hear 5 and hard to do it. Say if we do it one more time, well, it'll come out better. So it's hard to keep it short. So I've played it many more times than I thought we would. So we're going now. Tim wrote in this theme of everybody doing a solo. Tim said he had something, and maybe you want to say something about it?
Sure. I actually wrote a piece for the drum set based on a blues form. Sonny, could you just play a C triad? Just play, and then an F triad, and then a G triad, G, and then back to C. So basically, those are the 3 chords that are involved in a blues. So my instrument, the drums, are not tempered tunes like the bass or the piano, but I do have different pitches and different sounds. So I'm using my snare drum for what's called the 1 chord, which was the C chord that Sonny played, my high tom for an F, which is the 4 chord in a blues, and the low tom for the 5 chord in the blues. So basically, I'm going to play a piece harmonically at the drum set in the same way that I would play a blues sitting at the piano. And this is called Eine kleine Drum Blues. No disparaging thoughts of Mozart. I don't foresee any Grammys, but that's okay.
The world's most melodic drummer.
That was great. Nice. Thanks for doing that. Yeah. Maybe so this got the last one on the set for the night. It's called Sea Shanty. It's a piece I wrote, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. He has a little story, and it involves the melodica. I was on a beach trip, and I had this dream that of a song, but I wanted to remember because I don't really it doesn't happen very much, and there was no piano or something. We were in like a hotel, motel, and it was so I got up before anybody else, and I had melodica, and I went to the ocean and I tried to wade in the water and try to remember the song that I had in my dream. But I couldn't do it. But I came up with something else instead. So it was in. So it came out of that experience, but I didn't. It's still in there. I need to go dowsing for it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You're a terrific audience, every last one of you. That's very appreciative of. It was really fun to play for you and fun to compose the set and the songs and use the melodica. And thank you, Tim Gilmore, great drum playing as usual. And thank you, Peter. You really extended yourself tonight. And thank you for Gerald Grinnell, who's recording us for WCTV. So you can, if you like this concert, you can hear it again. And it's wonderful that Woodstock Community TV does that, and we get to my friends all over the world can hear the stuff. And how nice, yeah.